lose Lane Kiffin in that way and not expect things to look a little weird, or you get Tulane. And then from there, you go to an Ohio State team that will come off a good win if they win, but has come off of this kind of loss to Indiana where they don't know if they're the top team anymore. So I kind of set it up that way on purpose because I think there's not really an easy path. So let me know what you think in terms of teams that have the easiest path to the end.
Once again, I'll double down with that. It's a great way of asking the question. I don't look at this bracket of like, ooh, this is the one outlier of, XYZ team has a super easy path. I think obviously the teams that have a bye the first round from a path perspective, that obviously helps their case, especially for a team like Georgia who, they're banged up. So I think Georgia is having an extra 7, 10, 14 days to rest is certainly not insignificant. But where my eye goes to really answer that question directly is Oregon. And you started that way. But I think, relatively speaking, obviously you'd want the bye. But the fact that they have James Madison, who they are, 3+ touchdown favorites in that game at home, I like that. I think the narrative-wise, Oregon's kind of the team that people forget about, right? They were out of the Lane Kiffin coaching change drama, the Alabama drama. They weren't playing this past week, so you kind of sleep on Oregon. And then Texas Tech. Of the top 4 teams, I do think Texas Tech is number 4 for a reason and not 1, 2, or 3. Does Texas Tech get ahead of themselves after winning the Big 12 title? And do they come out flat? Things like that. I mean, remember last year in the playoff, all 4 top seeds lost in that second round game, which was a shock. And I think a reason is, you get some time off. But of all those teams, I'd rather play Texas Tech right now than Indiana, Ohio State, and Georgia. So from a pathway there, you get the most favorable of that tier of matchups. And then at that point, I still fear, and I know Indiana just won, and I know for me, Fernando Mendoza is on a path to win the Heisman, but I would rather play Indiana in a rematch if I'm Oregon with kind of playing with house money, nothing to lose, compared to Ohio State, defending national champs with a chip on their shoulder, or a healthy Georgia. So again, none of this is easy, but of the pass, I'm liking where I'm sitting if I'm Oregon. And that is ironic because last year, the most difficult path, very clearly, and the team that got screwed was Oregon. For those that remember, they won the Big Ten, but then got slotted to play Ohio State the very next round because of that Boise seeding discrepancy there that they changed in the playoff this year because Oregon got screwed so much. So luckily the Ducks are getting the benefit of getting punished last year.